Alrighty guys, we're back for some Selesnya Humans, and this is a Brothers War standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do get that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? Bringing back Hopeful Initiate. Nice. We got 3 of them. We got 4 Recruitment Officer, just a terrific 1-drop, huh? We have a couple Audacities. We might not get to see this one too often. So it's a 1-mana aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has Trample. And when Audacity is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Sweet. I think this card is actually really good even outside of enchantment builds. I guess it really depends what kind of creatures you can slap this onto as well. And we got some pretty great ones in here. So we have a single Destroy Evil. Being able to hit enchantments is going to be important, but then also just being able to take out cards like Sheoldred is going to be equally as important, right? We have a single Outland Liberator in here to deal with artifacts and enchantments, and it's a human, so nice. And when it's nighttime, it turns into the Trap Breaker, which can absolutely destroy certain decks like Selesnya enchantments, right? So nice. We have 3 Intrepid Adversaries. Being able to buff a wide board state and have lifelink happens to come in handy often. We have a couple Thalias. This is going to affect the opponents more than it affects us because the only cards in here that Thalia hits, or the only non-creature cards, are the Destroy Evil and the couple Audacity. So, yep, Thalia's going to be great in here. We have 4 Honor Guards, so a 2-mana 3/1 with Ward 2. That's it. It's a simple human, and I actually really like this card, and my main reasoning behind it is simple. How often do you play your 2-drop on turn 2 and the opponent immediately removes it? Immediately, right? Cut down, Play with Fire, Lightning Strike, Infernal Grasp, Go for the Throat. I could go on and on. There is so much spot removal, and I think Ward is just super important. Also, being able to like drop an Audacity on this, have it be a 5/1 with Trample is actually pretty sweet, because it's going to trample through a decent bit of damage, and then when it does end up dying, you get that card off the Audacity too, so yeah, I really like how simple this card is. I actually think it's going to be pretty good too. Okay, we have 3 Katilda Dawnhart Primes. This is, in fact, a human build, so we gotta have cards that work with humans, right? Oh, the protection from werewolves. Right now in Standard, we don't see too many werewolves, so just think of this as protection from Brutal Cathar. We have 4 Brutal Cathars in here, naturally. It's our main removal, right? Human, soldier, werewolf, so yeah, protection from werewolves. This permanent can't be blocked, targeted, or dealt damage by werewolves. Nice. Also, the bottom ability ends up being really easy to actually activate too because, you know, Katilda Dawnhart Prime happens to be ramp in and of itself. You know what? I should probably go over this. I guess we don't see it too often. So, 2-mana 1/1 with Selesnya colors up there. Of course, it's a legendary creature. Human creatures you control have tap. Add 1 mana of any of this creature's colors. And then the bottom ability is for a green and a white. You can tap it, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Yeah, it's just a sweet little creature that we don't get to see too often, I guess. We have 3 Adelines here. Now, I still think this is one of the best 3-drops in Standard. It's just kind of getting outshined right now by the soldier decks, unfortunately. And it's not a soldier, it's a knight. So, yeah, Adeline's awesome. It's going to work wonders in here. The token creature is in fact a human as well, so sweet. We have 4 Hamlet Vanguards. I've been trying to make this card good since it came out, and maybe this is the build, right? So this is a 3-mana 1/1 with Ward 2. So our second creature in here with Ward 2, that's pretty sweet. So, Hamlet Vanguard enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it for each other non-token human you control. So this can slam on the board and be a super chunky creature very early on, and this is like the perfect target to slap the Audacity on, right? Because the only thing Vanguard's missing is that trample. Other than that, This is a sweet 3-drop, and I really hope we get to see it do some work today, right? Okay. We have a single King Darien, the 48th. I think that's the 48th up there. So it's a 3 mana, 2/3. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Sweet. For 3, a green and a white, you can put a +1/+1 counter on the king and create a 1/1 soldier creature token. So that soldier isn't a human, unfortunately. I don't know how often we actually activate that ability. Probably not often at all. It also has a bottom ability here that we probably don't use too often either. You can sacrifice the king. Creature tokens you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. And the only other way to get tokens or creature tokens in this build is the Adeline, so yeah, we're probably not going to use his abilities too often. He just happens to be a human that buffs all of our other creatures, so pretty cool. Okay, the top end of the build already. Sigarda, Champion of Light. This is a 4 mana 4/4 flying trample. Humans you control get +1/+1, and then it also has a pretty sweet Coven ability here too. When it attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a human creature card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this and Recruitment Officer are kind of like the draw cards of the deck, right? They're not technically drawing us cards, but they're helping us get more fuel to put onto the board, so. Okay, lots to go over in the mana base here. Excuse me, guys. Also, I apologize if you hear any background noise. I do hope that my audio filters are taking care of that. Okay, we have a couple Secluded Courtyards, a Plaza of Heroes, a Who Endures, a Seat of the Empire, and a couple Sanctum of Natures, as well as the new Brushlands as well. So, a lot of utility lands in here, guys. Only a couple courtyards because you're calling human on this more often than not. And it doesn't work with Sigarda because that's actually an angel. So just a couple of these. Other than that, the mana base is probably going to be pretty good. Plaza of Heroes has a ton of legendaries to hit with this deck. So Sigarda, Adeline, the King, and Dawnhart Prime. Oh, Thalia too. So yeah, a bunch of legendaries. The bottom ability here, 3 mana, you can tap it, exile Plaza, target legendary creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, so I think that'll come in handy sometimes. Of course, the Who Endures and the Seat we know very well, but Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. So, the last time we played with this, we were trying to meld it with Titania, right? And after that, in the final thoughts of that video, we talked about how Sanctum of Nature is probably just good enough to have in certain builds, right? And so we do have some green legendaries in here. There they are, right? So it's a decent amount, but mostly Sanctum of Nature is probably going to come out tapped. And where you want to see Sanctum of Nature is probably up against the control decks that like to wipe your board. At least you'll be able to generate some bears potentially. We'll see if these come in handy though. Other than that, some honorable mentions, guys. Mishra's Foundry, I don't think it's going to be worth it in this particular build, especially when we want to hit that Katilda Dawnhart Prime as early as possible. Siege Veteran, there's actually a ton of soldiers in here too, so also the counters work well with the Hopeful Initiate. Really something to think about here, but there are so many terrific 3-drops already, so. Also, yeah, that's something to go over. The Initiate, taking counters away from Vanguard, that's a pretty sweet combo, right? Okay, Lauren of the Third Path. Keep your eye on this card, guys. Destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. This might be better than the Outland Liberator, but again, it's a 3-drop. Why are there so many good 3-drops, guys? In the Trenches might be better than King Darien, since King Darien gets cut down. So yeah, something to think about. Also, In the Trenches has that removal piece on it as well. So the big problem with In the Trenches in this build is it doesn't work well with Thalia necessarily, and it's not a human. That's really the only other reason, right? But other than that, I think it would be pretty sweet in here. Okay, guys, that took forever for some reason. It's a super simple build. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. We'll see if we can get right into that first match here. Heck yeah, we do. I was just saying it the other day, like, there's like no waiting for the first game of the evening for some reason. Okay. This is fine. We have 23 land total in here, I believe. Hello, opponent. We don't get hellos every day. We gotta make sure to drop those. Yeah, we'll get the farmland down, that's fine. Ooh, right up against soldiers, and they went first. That's pretty gross. What's pretty great about Hamlet is how well it's gonna work against their, also, yeah, even the Honor Guard, their Brutal Cathar doesn't hit it very well, so I wonder. Alright, we'll take the 4 for now. At least they didn't buff this board state, right? Guardian over the Brutal Cathar. I know it's in there. I know it's in their hand, guys, and I'm gonna keep pretending that it is. It's gonna be 1 or 2 Brutal Cathars in that hand. Alright, we'll get the Adeline down. Hamlet being a 3/3 ward 2 isn't as good. And Adeline blocks pretty well, so we'll see if that Brutal Cathar does end up hitting here, and then we will end up blocking with Honor Guard if they end up buffing this board state as well. Yeah, I'm getting greedy with that Vanguard is the thing, because this can block for days then. If we just get a couple extra. Oh, lay down arms. Ew. Ew. We could play a couple of these next turn, too. Yeah, soldiers have great cards to swing in with, because they can give this indestructible, and this has First Strike, which gobbles up Honor Guard as of right now. Yeah, first match against soldiers, pretty rough stuff, but we'll be fine. Everything's fine. Another Hamlet, actually. Huh. If we drop Hamlet number 1 this turn, they're probably just going to swing with Guardian and then buff it with the, yeah, hit us for 4, right? If we get a couple Honor Guards, though, still just, it doesn't block really well right now. Poor Honor Guard. I was trying to show it off a little bit. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it, guys. It's happening. We have to watch out for that Foundry, too. Yeah, since we don't have great blocks anyways, and we know they're going to swing with the exact same configuration, having these 2 Honor Guards back as emergency blockers is 100% fine. So we might as well get that extra 3 through. Come on, guys. All we got to do is get these Hamlets on the board. Oh, I'm over here throwing my mouse around. Opponent? Are you okay? Are you making fun of my Honor Guard, opponent? It's a cool card, don't make fun of it. Oh my goodness, the veteran hits the board. What if it's like... What was the decision process there? What else was in their hand that made them question if the veteran was the play, you know? That's scary, man. Alright, we're going to let the Thalia go through, and we're going to block the Guardian, because it doesn't have... Yeah, it doesn't have trample, so... Take 3 down to 8, and then drop Hamlet next turn. That's a big problem with Hamlet right now, too, I suppose, is the amount of removal that's actually... Oh, wow! The second lay down arms. So I wonder if that's another piece of removal in their hand for Hamlet number 1. Oh, thank goodness we found a 1-drop. Well, we had 7 of them in the deck, so I guess it was a good chance to draw one. That's a 7/7 Hamlet, and we got another one coming next turn that's potentially going to be a 9/9 Hamlet. Going down to 8, though, we do have to hold back here in case, well, we can swing with 1. I think the biggest thing that could happen next turn is like two board state buffs, right? Like Okay, Valiant Veteran number 2 is really bad. That's particularly bad. So I wonder... Yeah, I wonder if they just top decked that then. Because you'd think they would have played that last turn since they had the 2 mana open. Yeah, Guardian up to 7, and now we're going to have to chump it again. Because Vanguard does not get to 7. Okay, so... actually... We finally get to take out that Thalia. And if we double block... Make them discard that, we might be able to successfully get the Destroy Evil to take out the Guardian next turn. So I don't know if I want to do that. Taking extra damage, getting another buff. Getting another buff Vanguard down would be pretty sweet, huh? Let's take the 4. Tough decisions, guys. Soldiers is just really, really nasty. The second veteran is particularly being very bad here because, yeah, we can't successfully block the Guardian. Okay, we'll call Human. So the Destroy Evil can still happen, but now they'll get a card draw here too. They might keep both in hand. Alright. We have to keep everything back this time. We just can't hit that indestructible Guardian. It's really holding us back here. I'm pretty pleased with our Vanguards though, that's pretty sweet. The big question here is, are we going to be able to pull this off? Because they have the Foundry too, they can power up full swing, but we'll just completely gobble up their board state at that point. Okay, Siege Veteran. Okay, so... Okay, they're out of cards in their hand. Do we take out the Guardian or the Siege Veteran to stop the counters? Let's see where they plug these. Because if they plug a counter into the Veteran, we can destroy Evil the Veteran. Oh, that'll be so good. Oh, I don't know where they plug this. No, it's going into Officer. Okay. So we're still going to wait to see where they swing, though. Because we're at 4. They have to be a little careful. These Vanguards are holding down the fort. We can block both successfully, but either way, that Destroy Evil is going to hit Guardian here. They're wide enough to where, if they don't lose any creatures this turn, they would be wide enough to kill us, but they don't know what's in hand, and we don't know what we're going to draw, so... They're thinking about their veterans, because if they top deck a land, they can always use that ability. They don't have any cards in hand, so they're going to lose the Guardian here, but they're thinking it's going to trade. Yeah, so they made the safe bet. Oh, they get a scry here. Oh, that's my bad, guys. That's my bad. I didn't consider the scrying, so a little bit of a... little bit bad to wait there, unfortunately. Yeah, let's go ahead and take it out. They do get a 1/1. That's right, yeah, Siege Veteran. Oh, man. Oh, no, Sanctum of Nature. How do we draw so many lands? Oh, we're dead anyways, guys. Yeah, it was very smart for the opponent to hold off the attack there. Any attacks into the Vanguard. Oh. Are we going to survive again? No, we're not. This soldier's super buffed over here. I was going to say, Mistra's Foundry power up full swing, because we're only at 4 and have 4 creatures on board. But yeah, it's still just a full swing. And 6 damage goes through no matter what. Dang. I can't believe how long this actually was for soldiers. We held off for a little while there, but We could not keep up this time. However, I do think our deck can totally keep up with soldiers. We were in a real predicament there, and then I probably should have killed... No, they still had a card in hand too, yeah. Yeah, that's why we didn't kill it when the first siege veteran hit the board, because they still had the frontliner in hand and they could have given it indestructible. Oh man, yeah, they really locked that down. I'm trying to think if there was actually a way through, and I don't think there was. Maybe if we weren't as greedy with Vanguard early on and just tried playing them to have earlier blockers too. But the double veterans came into play, and we couldn't find like our Brutal Cathar, so... Actually, they didn't have any Brutal Cathars, did they? So that's kind of noteworthy. Alright, we'll keep it. I think the game's making fun of me for playing Honor Guard, guys. We'll make it work. We'll totally make it work. Alright, let's get this down and call human. Let the opponent know we're rocking some humans over here. Swings for 1. Tenacious Underdog. Okay. Opponent's playing their own version of humans. Yeah, Honor Guard blocks well, I suppose, into Underdog. The Underdog comes back, but at least it's a 2-mana card for a 2-mana card. No, Liliana, why? How could you? Alright. Ooh, Brutal Cathar. What are we discarding to the Liliana? Let's get that farmland down. Adeline's probably the bet here, because not only does it block well, it's a 0/4. Crap. Crap. Everything dies to mono black in my hand, guys. How do I want to do this? Alright, I think it's still the Adeline. I think. The problem is it's a 1/4. Yeah, the cut down. That's what I was sweating about, but yeah, what do we discard here? Let's go the Who Endures. I think the Seat of the Empire is probably gonna be a Misery Shadow. Man, the meta's rough. Alright. Well, we'll take the Misery Shadow and hope that that last card in their hand... Oh, they have the -2 on Liliana. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, guys. Oh, no. Yeah, the meta's been a little brutal, to say the least. They might go +1 just to keep the Liliana on board. Yeah. That's exactly what they're going to do, too. I wonder if we should have played Seat. That way if we top deck a land, and they have the swamp open to buff the sleeper too. Oh no, guys, we're just like super dead. Oh no. Alright, yeah, we did end up getting that land too, so we probably should have played Seat as a land, so that way we could play 2 cards this turn. This has Menace as well as the Liliana, just about to rip us apart, so... I'm just gonna play Honor Guard and I guess sacrifice that to the Liliana. Oh man. Ah, jeez. Was it a bad hand? Not really. It really wasn't that bad of a hand, was it? We're forced to block here. And Evolved Sleeper actually just takes the victory, doesn't it? Yeah, good game. Wow. That's kind of my fault too for not playing Seat as a land. I saw it after where we probably should have played it in case we top decked that land. Yeah, we got gobbled alive by mono black there, guys. Whoo, buddy. Don't worry, don't worry. I have a ton of faith remaining in this build, so let's see. Let's see if I could actually do something with it, I suppose. There's a lot of sweet lines of play in this deck. Like super simple lines of play too. Our turn 1s are sweet, our turn 2s are better, our turn 3s are the best. Oh no, now I'm scared. I'm scared to keep anything, guys. Also, no green source here. Opponent goes first here. All right, yeah, I guess we mulligan and see if we, yeah. Actually, that's better. We don't have a turn 1 because of Overgrown Farmland, but I wonder if the double Brutal Cathars is going to come into play. Since we've been getting a lot of land, call me crazy, I'm going to ditch a farmland. I bet we just draw more on top here anyways. Oh, we don't. Oh no, now I should be scared, I guess. Honor Guard again, though. Now I gotta make Honor Guard the thumbnail since we're seeing it so much. Oh, hey, nice. Honor Guard gets to actually use its ward. As long as it wasn't a make disappear, of course, right? Let's go! No spot removal for you, opponent. The whole point of Honor Guard. At least we got to showcase that. Oh, geez. Plaza of Heroes. Yeah, the Thalia is pretty sweet. Alright, let's start with the swing and make sure that Plaza taps for Thalia so we can play Recruitment Officer as well. They're gonna pay the ward. Wow, they're gonna pay the ward here. We're gonna be safe to play whatever the heck we want. It's still the same business though. So if we would have played Thalia before combat, on the stack they would have played the cut down. So it was worth trying the swing at least. At this point, it just looks like a soldier build. Like some Selesnya soldiers. Land off the top would be sweet for Adversary. Thalia gets gobbled up by Go for the Throat. And now the officer can get like a, ooh, an Epicure. Okay. Okay. Destroy evil. I mean, Brutal Cathar could take the Epicure, but then if they kill the Brutal Cathar, which is probably going to be easy for a Grixis-style build, then the Epicure comes back, gives them more blood tokens. This is just a really bad trade, though. And I guess getting Brutal Cathar down now wouldn't be a bad thing, since it starts the daytime-nighttime cycle. We get a swing in as well. Like, it's not the best creature to grab, but what else were we going to do, right? Play the Adversary? Swing into the Epicure? Like, all of that is pretty poor. Really, these creatures are terrible to hit with Brutal Cathar. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because the Brutal Cathars are so easy to kill that as soon as they get those creatures back... Oh yeah, a couple make disappears. Huh. Okay, Grixis Anvil. Oh no, guys, Grixis Anvil. That sounds awful. Brutal Cathar can hit the constructs quite well, I suppose. However, yeah, I'm waiting for that 4th mana for the Adversary. We don't get a swing here, but I don't think the Grixis Anvil decks run board wipes. So as long as we can keep our Cathars safe for a couple turns. We could have had it switch to nighttime too, and kept the Destroy Evil open, which unfortunately doesn't hit artifacts as well. But that would be too good, let's be real, having all those abilities on there. Okay, Epicure number 2. Looks like they don't have the spot removal. Might draw into it though. Anvil can take care of the blood token. They get another construct. I gotta be real with you guys. Unless we see that 4th mana, I don't know if this is looking too great for us. Couple recruitment officers. And since we don't have our Thalia, we can't tap the Plaza for white. We're stuck, guys. We're stuck. Oh no. Alright. 2 nighttime it goes. Having a couple 3/3 Moonrage Brutes is a lot safer than having a couple 2/2 Brutal Cathars. Okay, Epicure number 3 hits the board. We're taking a ton of damage. Okay. They might play another card here, which means the Brutal... No, they're going to pass. Okay. Hey, 4th mana. All right. Intrepid Adversary can now hit this board and buff everything. But at this point, the amount of terrific blocks the opponent has... Oh, these have first strike, though. It's going to come down to what they have in hand, I suppose, right? Let's get this down. Let's do this. It lands. That's good news. Now, the adversary would be the target for spot removal. Yeah, what the heck, let's do it. They're set up so well with the anvil that I feel like we're like... How do I put this? We're at a point in the game where we're like a little bit behind. So they're gonna go chump blockers here, huh? Oh, they might double down. Yeah, they're doubling down on Officer to get it out of here. They don't know we have 2 more in hand. And then take 4. Yeah, nice. This worked out pretty nicely for us, guys. That was worthwhile. If they take out Adversary, we still kill both Epicures, so I'm pretty sure they're not taking out the Adversary here. Voltage Surge. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't... I guess they wanted the Epicure back, but if they would have blocked this Brute here, they wouldn't be taking this 4 to the face, because this doesn't have Trample. And then they could have still Voltage Surged the one to get their other Epicure back. I think that's how that would have worked, right? So nice, we got an extra 4 through, and another spot removal is in their grave, so let's hope they don't find too much more, right? This is the kind of deck that probably runs 2 to 4 Voltage Surge, right? 2 to 4. And then probably like 3 cutdowns and a couple Go for the Throats, maybe a single Infernal Grasp for an emergency as well. So yeah, like I said, we're at the point of the game where we're falling a little bit behind, so we got to swing as much as possible. This style of Grixis, I haven't seen too often, but I have run into it a little bit here and there. Just Grixis Anvil, and then the Saheeli is on the top end, which is pretty cool, actually. Yeah, there it is, Saheeli. It's like I said, it's pretty cool. What card did they end up... Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those into your hand. Oh. They must already have a Saheeli in hand, because I can't imagine a reason why they wouldn't want that in their hand, right? Alright, let's get it back to daytime and start gobbling up this board state, which is they're getting wide enough here. We'll keep Destroy Evil open, which doesn't do a lot against their deck, like at all, actually. What card do we take? Because if we take Corpse Appraiser and they get that ability again, it just doesn't do a lot for us, you know? The first strike on the Brute might keep it safe, depending on what they want to do here. I guess they just end up... Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We're so far behind, guys, that they're at 6. It's going to be a simple use the anvil. So it's technically safe and worth the swing since they're getting rid of one of their creatures. Yeah, Destroy Evil not doing much here. Take the other construct, I guess, and then that way Brutal Cathar isn't... So they can actually use it, make another construct right now, too. Oh, man. Either way, that makes it so that way Brutal Cathar isn't that big of a target, because everything else here is really bad to grab with the Cathars. I can only imagine the Saheeli's going to drop soon. Soul Transfer, nice. So I think it still was the construct. I think that was the best thing to grab. I really like the opponent's deck, though. Like I said, we don't get to see this style of Grixis too often. We're just going to take the 3 here, guys. They're at 8, and they don't know what's in our hand. So that, like, if we had a couple pieces of removal, we could have just won here, right? So let's go ahead. Let's use the officer. Initiate, Honor Guard, Honor Guard, right? Get this down. Get this down. It's nice knowing that the opponent doesn't have anything in the hand. Do they trade with the Corpse Appraisers here? This is a worthwhile swing, and we probably should have done it before playing the Honor Guard. I mean, that's just worthwhile, right? That's worthwhile trades, I would think. And then again, we could have used the officer again next turn, so... Mechanized Warfare. Oh my goodness. I wonder if that's a one of. No, we're taking that. We're taking 4 here. Again, like, they're at 6, guys. If we can find removal for this construct, the Anvil's not going to protect him. Okay. They're at 7. They have nothing in hand. Oh, nice, nice. They can, oh, we don't find the removal, though. Oh, no, guys. So we are getting flooded with 23 mana in this particular build, huh? Toughness 4 or greater. Alright, we got a full swing here. Here's why. If they find removal off the top of their deck for the adversary, we don't gain enough life next turn for the Honor Guard to protect us from 2 creatures swinging in with the Warfare over there. So being able to get that life gain this turn, get the 4 damage through on our other creature, is probably worth the full swing there. How do you guys feel about that? The crown's pretty insane right now because just any amount of extra cards off the top is going to be really good for the opponent. Wow, they went through a lot of cards, man. They have 15 cards in the grave. Whew. I hope that says something about our deck, at least, right? I guess this mills a little bit, right? Yeah, they look at the top 3, put 1 into hand, and then the rest into the grave, and then they had 2 of those, so that did put a little bit into their grave. Okay, they equipped the crown. I wonder what's in their hand, because they were thinking there. They now have Anvil available to take out the crown, too, if they're, like, in an emergency to gain that life. This is going to hit for 4. They're going to play a Sheoldred as soon as I use this, guys. I just know it. I just know it. No, no, no. I should take the 4. I should take the 4. I don't know if these Grixis builds run Sheoldred. Scary stuff, though. Down to 3. Another Oni cult. Oh, no. Opponent's down to 2. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have to do it. We have to take out the Warfare. Because Oni Cult is, in fact, red. It is, in fact, a red and black source. That's 2. Oh, they can do it on the stack. That's right, guys. That's right. No, the second anvil. I'm sorry, friends. What have I done? I was so afraid of the Sheoldred that I could not foretell the second Oni Cult anvil. Oh man, hey, I feel like that one at least was close. The other ones I got obliterated, right? So let's go ahead, hop into one more and see if we can redeem this poor deck. This poor deck just is trying so hard against this brutal meta, you know? All right, opponent. Look, I know that you like to play mono black, but please, not this time. Please. Okay. Good hand, good hand. That's one thing about this deck. The hands have been a little bit off, right? The hands have been like, I don't know. I don't know how to tweak it to properly, like, adjust. Alright, we'll get this down for human and keep the seat back for now. This is a good example of, again, having that ward 2 on our 2-drop would be really helpful against a deck like this, right? So let's go initiate number 2 first and see what happens here. Okay, Recruitment Officer. Might as well go all out as soon as possible, because if we can buff both initiates without any issues, which we might not have any issues here, getting those extra counters on the initiates early on could be huge. Ew, Flesh Gorger. That's a gross card. Seat of the Empire takes care of it if we do 3 to ourselves. We don't get to get Adeline down this turn, though. Okay. Still gonna be Seat of the Empire, though. As much as I want to get Adeline down, see where they block here. Watch they don't block. Okay, yeah, no, this is worth it. Let's take the 3. Because we don't want them to have life gain. Get that extra 2 through and hope they don't just, like, wipe the board this turn. Because I don't exactly know what we're up against. A Rafine's Tower. Flesh Gorger. I have no idea what we're up against, guys. Oh, Path of Peril. Oh, no. Oh, that's so gross. All right, let's get the Adeline down. All right, so yeah, probably a ton of board wipes in the opponent's deck then. If they're rocking a Path of Peril, I can only imagine there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more, guys. All right, go for the throat. Yep. We hit that 4th mana. Okay, let's go Adversary here. We might as well, right? Maybe eventually they'll run out of, well, it's stuck on something. Sure looks like a mean deck, so let's decline. Going all out, guys. I'm going all out. Let's do this. Infertile Grasp on the Adversary, yep. And let's just play the Audacity on the Officer. Why not, right? It was the Path of Peril. That was a 1 card for our 3 cards. That really set us behind enough here to where now I think we're going to have to... Ooh, Flesh Gorger again. Yeah, the life gain's brutal. All right, let's see what we find with the Officer. I guess we could do that on their turn too, huh? It says nothing about sorcery speed. Hopeful Initiate does hit artifacts. So that could be an interesting one to grab. The second Officer might be a better decision. Okay, Sanctum of Nature is now on the board. And they probably just trade here, gain 3 life, right? Then they lose 1 from the trample. So I'm going to hold off for the turn and hope they don't have more spot removal here. Which it might just be right now. What the crap? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, no. Oh, geez, guys. Well, at least the opponent's having a good time, right? Exile target artifact or creature. Then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Yeah, that's a thing. Oh no, and some land. Oh no, guys. Oh man. Actually, we can create a bear, which that is activate only as a sorcery, and then successfully double block the Flesh Gorger next turn. Oh no, we can't. They can give it flying. That's sweet, guys. That's so cool. Ah, man. That is so cool. Well, I'm gonna let them play this out. For sure. The Brothers' War. I'll tell you what, brought some power-packed cards, and I don't remember the planar incision. I don't remember this card at all. Good game. Woo, buddy. Tough uphill battles today. I hope you guys still enjoyed the video overall, though. Hope you still enjoyed the deck, even though it didn't do a whole lot today. I feel like there's, like, no reason that it should have done this poorly, but I'm probably just wrong at this rate, right? Those were a lot of losses in a row and a lot of brutal losses at that. So yeah, what could we go over here, huh? Honor Guard. I still like this card. I still like it. And actually, the ward too did come into play that one game against the Grixis, right, where they couldn't remove it right away. Then they did end up paying the ward cost as well. So that was cool. Oh, Hamlet. Hamlet, Hamlet, Hamlet. How does this card end up being bad? I don't understand. Look at it. It's so cool. Ah, geez. Yeah, I think the big problem is the fact that you actually have to keep other creatures on the board. And the opponents just don't let you do that. No matter what the deck is, even aggro decks, excuse me, guys, even the aggro builds have way too much removal somehow. And so by the time you can play Vanguard, which is turn 3, it's insane, guys. The fact that this isn't a 4-mana card or something, it's a 3-mana card. By the time you can actually get this down, they've already removed one or both of the other cards that you played, right? So that's crazy, man. It's so bizarre to think about. Because, yeah, turn 1 Recruitment Officer and a turn 2 Honor Guard, you'd think that would be enough to be able to have your turn 3 Vanguard and have this be a 5/5 ward. It's just not. It's just not enough. And then how often did we actually see that line of play? Not often at all. The deck overall drew very, very poorly. What would I change? Bro, I have no idea. I guess I would make it a soldier deck instead, right? I guess I would drop the Vanguards. That would probably be a good idea. I would go down a couple Katilda then. Maybe I would still stick to like the human soldiers, but see, that would even be a bad idea because of the main veteran, right? So the Valiant veteran, that's not a human, so you'd probably cut the Katildas as well. Yeah, you just kind of like make it a Selesnya soldier build, which takes away the soul of the deck, unfortunately. But the meta's brutal. I guess more testing is technically required too, because it might have just been those 4 matches where we weren't really seeing it and the opponents were really seeing it, right? So you never know. That's definitely happened in the past. Especially there's been videos where I got absolutely destroyed, and then while the video was uploading, I played a couple matches and made sure to comment that, you know, the matches went a lot better than the video matches. But yeah, it's rare that happens, but it happens every now and then. What would you guys add or take out? Do you think today, like, do you think that the deck deserved the brutality? I'm thinking about, you gotta laugh sometimes because like some of those were just absolutely brutal, you know? There were definitely some suboptimal plays on my part too that I only saw after the fact, and that's one of those things where I say like, I need to see it in action and then next time I'll know, type of thing, and that happens a lot after a new set releases as well. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, thank you so much. Holy cow. Y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.